Hey, what's up, DIYers? Mike Boards with the Mike Boards channel. Thank you for watching. We're back working on my parents' 2003 Sea-Doo GTX, and it's got a 951 DI or direct injection engine. In today's video, the step-by-step process on how to properly and safely replace the water hose that comes out of your air pump, feeds directly underneath your engine and to the aft or rear portion of the hull. Let's get started. Let's go to the back. We need to remove both the aft seat and the forward seat. And scrolling above right now is a link to a video on how to properly lubricate your latches. And again, aft seat and forward seat we will remove. And we did just that. Again, both aft and forward seats are removed. The very next step, extremely important, DIYers, cut all electrical power to the jet ski. And in our case, our battery is removed, but in your case, it's probably still installed. And I recommend disconnecting the black negative cable from your battery. And from here, what we'll need to do is remove all 4 of these bolts to remove this center seat brace. Making our way port side, I am going to remove the plastic insert here. Set that aside. 4 10mm bolts. Go ahead and remove those. At this point, all 4 bolts are removed, and on the bottom side is this little portion here for the rear baffle. And we are going to pull this up. And if you've never pulled this apart, there is adhesive in between the brace and the skis, so just give it some friendly pressure and it should pop right up. And carefully remove this entire brace, set it in a safe location, and then we'll remove that. Check that out. Set that aside. With those parts removed, check this out. We now have much better access to the entire internal hull of our jet ski, as you see here. And we will continue on. We've got an aft air guide and a forward air guide that feed down into your air box right down there. And you've got a 10mm bolt and on the opposite end a 10mm nut. Go ahead and loosen those up, and you can pull this right out of its rubber insert. We will start with the aft because that's where we have our wrench hooked up to. Do not drop the nut or bolt inside the engine or hull. It will be tough to find. Be very careful. Also, you have a washer here. And shifting to the front. And on the forward side, we have an additional washer. After removing the hardware, what I'm going to do is pull on the aft air guide. They come out pretty easily. That's what they look like. And part number if you ever have to replace it. I'll set that aside. What I'm also going to do is put the respective hardware back into the holes that they came out of. Now to the forward air guide. There it is. And I did just that. And again, the forward guide actually had that washer on the rear or aft side of the connection. And DIYers, always stay organized. In the event that you have loose hardware, bolts, nuts, or washers, they could actually fall inside and underneath the padding. And that would be tough to get. Or even worse, underneath the engine. Not good. Here is our exhaust. What we are going to do is go down below, and you can see a little clip, and we are going to remove that, which will allow us to disconnect the latch and remove the box. Making my way around starboard side, I'm going to do my absolute best to give you a good view of this. Again, here is the air box, and this little safety pin right there, we have to carefully pull out. Do not drop this. Set that aside. And from here, we can carefully unlatch or disconnect the latch that locks the box in. And that's basically all you have to do. From here, we will pull that entire air box out. You do have to basically push it off the engine, and you've got rubber seals here. Give it just a little bit of friendly pressure, and you will be surprised. This is actually heavier than you think, being plastic. As you pull this out, do your absolute best not to damage any wiring or hoses in the process. And there it is. And to a quick update with that all removed, again, you do not actually have to remove any of that. We just want to give you better views and lighting as we work through this project. And as you can see, with it removed, a lot more access down below. And again, we are port side. the drive shaft plastic shroud right here, and you've got 2 wing nuts, and they are plastic. Counterclockwise, and remove them. And with that removed, you can see our drive shaft and bellow and carbon ring. And I want to hop to starboard side, give you a better view. Here we are, starboard side. Coming back inside the hull, I do want to give you a better view of the hose we are going to be replacing. Again, there is the drive shaft, the bellow, the carbon ring, and PTO. And coming down here, you see this hose right here is connected to the engine at that point and secured with a zip tie. And directly below that, you see an additional hose that feeds into a corrugated plastic cover. And that is to protect the hose as it travels underneath the entire engine from, again, port side all the way to starboard side and secures itself to the air pump. We are going to follow that hose back. And again, get the right hose. Do not mistake it for the hose we just showed you that connects to this portion right here, the engine. And it feeds all the way back down in there, as you can see, and connects right there. And you can see a worm gear clamp at the very back, and we are going to get a 1/4-inch ratchet and socket in there and carefully loosen up that worm gear clamp so we can pull that hose off the fitting. Now to an update, I do want to come back, and I do have the ratchet and socket position. I want to show you that. And DIYers, this is a tight fit. Just be patient. Do not damage anything as you loosen up that clamp and remove that hose from the fitting. And I'm going to grab the clamp off the hose, as you see right there. Now to a close-up view of where it connected. Again, right there. Take a step back, and again, here is the hose, and it feeds down below. Let me get the camera back down in there so you can see it as I move the opposite end. And we have a zip tie here. We are going to carefully cut that away without damaging any cables or additional hoses. Camera is now positioned port side looking down, and back here is our electrical box, and there is the engine. And down below in the comments and description will be a link on where to purchase this little tool. And again, just carefully cut away the zip tie. And take note that the zip tie does feed through or is fed through a little mount, and this mount is secured to the hull of the jet ski. Coming out of the hull, again, port side, let's go to the starboard side and aft portion of the engine to the air pump. And there it is. DIYers, this is going to be the most annoying and tedious part of the project. And we've got a airline here that feeds up. We've got this airline there that feeds down to the top portion of the air pump. And then we've got a larger rubber hose that feeds directly underneath the engine into our air intake system. Right there, as you can see, it is secured with a worm gear clamp, and again, that feeds directly underneath the engine. That is not a water hose or a coolant hose or a heater hose. That is an air hose, and it feeds again on the inner portion of that air pump that we cannot see, and directly below that hose is the hose we need to gain access to. And it's going to be very, very difficult to get a camera in there. However, I might be able to get the camera in there. And there it is, right there. There's the black hose. Again, not a water hose. That is an air hose. That little fitting right there with the zip tie on it. We need to cut away that zip tie. And just behind that zip tie on the hose, you can barely make out, but you can see the corrugated cover. And again, as you cut away that zip tie, do not damage anything. In DIYers, I am ever so carefully using my left hand and fingers to find the zip tie that we need to cut. Coming in and around. And as you can see, the zip tie is no longer on the polyurethane hose. There is an additional zip tie on the corrugated plastic coating or cover. And from here, I'm just going to carefully reach my hand down in that location and again, separate the hose from the fitting. Here I am starboard side, and I do want to show you the hose, again, removed. And what I did was I used my right hand and arm and fed myself underneath the exhaust pipe and down underneath the engine to grab a hold of the hose. Coming into a close-up view, and again, there is the hose removed and the corrugated plastic cover or guard, and that is zip tied. There's the opposite end right there. Taking a step back port side, let's shift to the opposite side of the room where we have our 1995 C2 XP. And here is the brand new hose. And here is the OEM information. Here it is out of the packaging, and DIYers, it is very important to know or be aware of that this new hose is not pre-cut to the exact measurement that the old one is. We are going to install this and then make our cuts. Last thing we want to do is cut this, install it, and have it too short where it cannot connect to the proper or appropriate fittings. In addition, here's our brand new tubing cover or guard and plastic and OEM information. In front of us now is the hose and protective tubing or guard, and all I'm going to do is install this, and this is pre-cut, as you can see, the whole way. And this hole is smaller than the actual hose, so you need to actually split this open as you feed this onto the new hose. And the hose that connects to the air pump has about an inch and a half exposed hose, and then the guard picks up and is zip tied, so I will install this accordingly. No easy way to do this, DIYers. Just be patient, and again, I have about maybe 4 inches at this point. However, I will slide this protective loop or guard up as I go. And just open it up and carefully apply some friendly pressure of the hose into the actual looped guard. Making progress, I'll also put down below in the comments and description replacement zip ties, and the protective loop or guard is fully installed. And I added some zip ties. And don't overdo it on the zip ties, and don't over tighten them. You do not want to crimp the hose. Again, this is a coolant hose or water hose. The water needs to flow through this hose freely. Back to the workbench, and if you cannot get a good grip of that zip tie using the smaller cutting tool to cut it away, you may need to revert to larger cutting tools. Down below in the comments and description will be a link on where to purchase that tool, and that is mainly used for removing and re-crimping oil-drinker clamps. But it may come in handy this portion of the project, again, if you cannot get a good grip using the smaller tool. Back to the jet ski port side coming inside the hull. Here's what I did next. I've got the brand new hose resting on top of the engine, and I have taped the new hose to the old hose. DIYers, this also will be personal preference. I'm doing it this way because if you come under here or have any good views of down below, starboard side of that portion of the engine, you will notice that there is a specific way that that hose is routed as it travels from that location, starboard side, underneath the engine, and makes its way to port side and to the back portion. On that side, there are additional water hoses and oil lines. Camera now positioned on the upper aft portion of the hull looking down at the PTO, and from here I will carefully feed the brand new hose in and pull the old hose out. And again, go slow. Do not rush this. As always, do not damage anything in the process. And here again is the opposite side hose, and I'm just pulling it through as I feed it from starboard side. And you can now see the old corrugated plastic guard, and it's oily, it's dirty. And the new hose has made its way out and port side, but I'm going to continue feeding the new hose through. And the corrugated cover is now going in and under the engine. Again, this part right here protects this hose from anything down below. Making progress. Here we are starboard side, and there again is the new hose, and there's the old hose. And I'm going to separate the two hoses again, old and new, with the tape, and I will fully remove the old hose. And then come down here to the air pump and secure this new portion of the hose to the fitting on the air pump. And same as before, I might go in from this angle or location to get a better grip of it. Making progress, I did just that. There's the new hose removed from the old hose. There's the old hose. A big difference in length. We will need to cut. Coming back inside, I do want to try to give you a view of the fitting without the hose connected to it. And there it is. Again, a very tight spot to work with and a very tedious portion of the project. DIYers, after about a good 15 minutes, no joke, about 15 minutes of getting into this small little area, I'm going to try to position the camera so you can see and do your absolute best to push that hose all the way on that bar fitting until it is flush with the base of the fitting itself. You do not want that hose halfway on or halfway installed. You want it fully installed. From here, we are going to carefully install a zip tie. To an update, DIYers, I did the best I could. I'm going to bring the camera back in and try to give you a good view of it. As you can see right there, again, verify that the hose is fully pushed on and flush with the fitting, and the zip tie is securing it in place. Coming out of the hull, and again, that will test your patience. And what I did next was carefully feed the opposite end of the hose back in position. And again, I am going to have to cut, and I'm going to use a specific tool. Camera now positioned on top of the engine. Looking back, here is the tool. Down below in the comment section as well as the description section will be a link on where to purchase this, and it's going to allow you to cut that hose with a clean cut. And again, I maneuvered the hose and just kind of pushed it all the way in, and I've got the location where I want to cut. It's right about here, and I'm going to come in with this little tool, and again, as straight as I possibly can, and I will cut it. From here, I'm going to position the clamp back on, and what I'm going to do is tighten it so it's not just going to slide down the hose. I want it to stay in position as I feed it on the housing down below, but not too tight. As you can see, the hose is fully flush on the fitting. Now it's time to secure the clamp. DIYers, we are making progress. The clamp is properly secured. Again, do not over tighten that. You will rip the hose or break the plastic fitting that the hose secures onto. And we are now going to resecure all the cables and hoses with the zip tie. And it did just that. And one thing I do want to point out is, again, that little mount right there that the zip tie has to go through. Making progress. PTO shroud is resecured. From here, we are going to go underneath port side, resecure the air box and additional parts. Coming down in, and it is properly aligned and over the inlets. And again, align the latch with the aluminum guard here and secure it in place. Now to a close-up view of the latch. Do not forget to install your safety pin. It goes inside that little hole right there. And make sure the top part feeds over the latch and in and secured as such. And that safety pin alleviates that latch from coming disconnected while you're out riding around with the engine running, because in the event that that air box becomes separated from the engine, guess what? You're going to lose a lot of engine power and performance. Making progress. The forward ductor feed is secured with the hardware and into the air box. One thing I do want to point out, this little rubber flap, make sure it's in between the plastic duct and the engine. It helps alleviate the plastic ductwork from melting. Here we are starboard side. I want to give you a different view of this going inside the air box as shown here. Just carefully align the duct inside that hole, push it in until your hardware hole is flush with the hole on the stationary mount, and secure it with the 10mm bolt and nut. And there it is, secured. Again, the rubber flapper in between the plastic duct or feed and the engine to prevent it from melting. And here we are back port side. There it is, DIYers. As I rest this in place, I do want to point out the edge portion of either side actually goes up under the jet ski mold itself, as you see here. And then you've got 4 threaded inserts for the bolts to be secured into. Center brace is now secured. We are going to lower our little compartment there back in place. Next step for you is resecure your battery. However, in our case, our battery is not installed because, again, it's in-house for DIY repair videos for the winter. After you secure the battery, go ahead and resecure both of your seats. Taking a big step back and everything's put back together. And before we wrap the video up, if I didn't mention it earlier, down below in the comments and description will be several links to helpful videos on replacing that little latch of your glove or storage compartment, the start-stop push button cap, as well as the push button inside behind that cap and the wiring that feeds all the way downstream, and more. A ton of projects inside the hull, working with the engine and replacing the foam protector sleeve of our step. We hope this helps. Hey, do us a favor, below the video you will see that thumbs up icon. Click on that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely ring your YouTube bell. That would be very helpful to us. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching.